Hello, everybody. Welcome to yoga. It's been a while, and we have a new venue for our class today. I hope everyone's doing well. As you can see, I just have a mat, but if you'd like to have a blanket so that you could put under your knees, that might be helpful in today's class. So we're going to start laying down. Just lay down, and you can let your legs come straight, or you can bring your knees together. Whatever's most comfortable for you. Turn your palms up. Shift around so that you can feel really even and supported by the floor. If you feel any discomfort in your back, remember you can always step your feet onto the ground and let your knees knock together with your feet wide. We'll just start by lengthening and deepening the breath. Relaxing the jaw, and then bringing one hand to the heart and the other hand anywhere on the abdomen that feels like it needs a little support. So it could be the upper abdomen or the lower abdomen. Just feel for what area could use a little extra energy. And we're creating a circuit between the heart and this part of the stomach or the belly. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Feel like you're letting go of any old stagnant energy. Again, inhale deeply into the low belly, filling up the entire abdomen, and then exhale through the mouth. Doing a couple more of those on your own. Let the breath fill and reach into all the areas, and let it all out. And then let the hands come by your sides on the ground. Let the shoulders relax. Let the heart open. And just noticing whatever's happening in your body today. Taking your right knee into your hands, interlace your hands in front of the shin, and then you can slide the left leg straight down the mat. And again, you can keep the left leg bent if that feels good, but start to hug the right knee up towards the sides of the rib cage. Breathing deeply into the low belly. Letting the breath meet the leg. So breathing against your right leg. That'll give a little bit of pressure in the abdomen to release anything that's stuck there. And then we'll release the right leg. And let yourself rest for a moment. And then taking the left leg into your hands and hugging it out towards the side slightly. Interlace your hands in front of the shin. Focusing the breath down into the low belly so that the breath meets the leg, the left thigh. Slow, deep breaths. And release, allowing yourself to rest. Stepping both feet onto the mat. Walk your heels up so that they are as close to the hips as you can get them. And your feet parallel to each other with a few inches in between them. Slowly start to lift the hips from the ground and then the middle back and upper back until you're up on your shoulders. And then we'll lower all the way down. And we're going to do this with the breath. So we're going to inhale, lift the hips, lift the back up onto the shoulders. And then exhale, lowering down slowly and carefully. Inhale and lift. Exhale, lower. Last one, we'll inhale to lift. And we'll stay on the lift. And then lift the arms up and back behind you, continuing the inhale. Exhale, lower the back down. And once the tailbone hits the floor, we'll exhale the arms down to the ground. Draw both knees in and gently rock side to side. And then we'll take the right leg into the grip and let the left leg slide down the mat. And take the right knee across the body, so let the hips lift up and let the right knee come to the left side. Extend the right arm out, and you can turn your gaze towards the right hand. Hugging the knee up at any level or let it hang down if that's more comfortable. And then slowly come back. Give yourself a little hug and release. And we'll do the left side. So hug the left knee in, bring it into the hands. Draw the knee across the body. The hips will lift up off the mat. And then the left arm comes out to the side, giving yourself a nice stretch across the chest, as well as a release through the whole back. And let yourself come back to center, hugging the knee in, and release it back down the mat. Taking a moment just to take a breath, and then we'll step the feet onto the mat, roll over onto your side carefully, and press up into a tabletop position. So this is where you might want a blanket under your knees. You can put it right on top of the mat under your knees. And then your hands come directly under your shoulders. So the knees under the hips and the hands directly under the shoulders. Spread your hands wide, make sure your wrists are comfortable. So you may want to turn the fingertips in or out slightly and press into the whole length of the hand, of the fingertips. So the weight isn't all on the wrists. Draw the belly in, lengthen the back of the neck, draw the shoulders down, and just find a very solid, stable tabletop position. Dropping the belly down, start to lift the chest and the chin. Inhale. Exhale. Round the spine, chin to chest. Press into the fingertips to really get a stretch in the back of the shoulders. Inhale, belly drops, chest opens, chin lifts. Exhale, round. Really draw the belly up and in as much as you can. Inhale, fluctuating into cow pose. Exhale, rounding into cat. Taking a few more rounds on your own pace, just following your breath slowly, being mindful of your whole spine, just moving through the layers. And now we're going to start to circle the hips around. So swing the hips back towards the heels and then forward towards the wrists. And we're just going to circle. So the hips over to the left, out to the side and up, and then around and back down. So moving the hips in a big wide circle. Follow the breath, maybe inhaling as you come forward and exhale as you come back. And then we'll change directions whenever you're ready to. So just tracing the circle with your hips in the opposite direction. And remember to follow your breath, or at least let the breath be as big a part of this as the movement is. And then we'll come back into center and walk the hands forward slightly so you're in a supported plank position. Draw the belly in, feel the engagement of the abdomen. And then we'll slowly rock the chest forward and lower the chest down to the ground as slow as you can go. Once you're here, lifting the left leg up, stretching it back and lowering it, and then lifting the right leg up, stretching it back and lowering it. Doing that a couple more times, just walking the legs down with a little bit more length. Draw the thumbs back to be next to the rib cage and squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back. Slowly start to lift the chest from the floor, just lightly letting yourself float the upper body, keeping the tops of the feet connected to the ground, and then lowering down. And we'll do that one more time. So taking a breath in and out, and then we'll inhale, lift, and just letting yourself float for a moment. maintaining steady breath. See if you can draw your shoulder blades a little further down the back and lower. Pressing into the ground with your hands, pressing through tabletop, crawling the knees forward. Touch the big toes together and then separate the knees a little wider. So big toes are touching, knees are wide. Start to walk the hands forward for child's pose. If you can do this, come into child's pose. If it's hard for your head to reach the ground, cross your arms and let your forehead rest on your forearms. You want to maintain the connection of your hips to your heels if possible. Don't let them pop up. So if the floor seems really far away, resting your forehead on your arms. And if you can, just letting your forehead come to the ground, arms extended forward. And if you want a little more of a stretch here, pop your arms up off the ground, keeping your fingertips tented. So this will give you a little bit more of a shoulder stretch. And wherever you are, once again, find the breath and its connection to your legs. So allow the breath in to meet the inner thigh and the breath out to release any old energy. And then we're going to come up onto tabletop once again, taking just a round of cat and cow. Inhale, lift the chin and chest. Exhale and round. And then coming back into your plank. So walk the hands forward. I want you to get the hips, knees, and shoulders in one long line if possible. And then slowly lower down. Take your time. Get your arm strength. Walk the legs back a little bit. And then we're coming up to Sphinx pose. So bringing the elbows forward, elbows underneath the shoulders, hands flat on the floor in front of you, just as wide as they were in tabletop. And just make sure you have a comfortable position. If you reach your hands together and reach for the bicep, you may want to see how far apart your elbows are. That should be about the right distance if you can grab your bicep with each hand. So then bring your hands back onto the ground in front of you. Feet flat on the ground behind you. Back of the neck is long. And then we're going to start to draw the shoulders down the back as if the bottoms of your shoulder blades are pressing in to the back of your heart. You're going to just try to lift the heart slightly. This is Sphinx pose. Draw the shoulders down, lengthen the neck. And then from Sphinx pose, we're going to come into a little bit of abdominal strengthening. Taking an inhale here. Slowly exhale, bring the chin down to the chest. Start to shrug the shoulders. And then start to lift the belly up off the mat. And then maybe lift the hips up off the mat. Lowering the hips back down. Inhale. Lifting the chest. Lifting the gaze. Shoulders draw down the back. Exhale. Start to round. Lift. Engage. Inhale. Lower. Extend and open the chest. Exhale. Round. And lift. Slowly lower back down. Coming into your Sphinx pose. Inhale. And then exhale. Open the elbows out wide. Let your face rest on your hands. And then you can lift the feet up and just Circle the ankles around, maybe windshield wiper the feet side to side. And then let the feet come back down. Slide your hands beneath the shoulders. Press yourself up again through tabletop. And then crawling the knees forward, just like in child's pose, we're going to sit the hips down on the heels. Knees are wide. And if you'd like to take child's pose like we did before with the forehead on the arms or the arms extended, you can do that. Another option here is to make fists. So wrap your thumb in the fingers around the thumb. And then bring your fists into your hip crease. Really tuck them in, get in there. And then we're going to slowly come forward with the fists here and let the forehead come to the ground. And you'll feel the pressure. If it's uncomfortable, that's expected, but if it's painful, just come into your regular child's pose. And again, breathing in now to where the hands are. Or if you're in your regular child's pose, breathing the belly against the inner thigh. And then slowly coming back up. Release the hands. If they were tucked in there, you may want to shake them out a bit. And then bringing yourself through tabletop, tucking the toes under, and we'll lift up through down dog and come to ragdoll. So if your toes are tucked under, you're going to lift the knees up, start to lengthen the arms and pull the hips back. Knees can stay bent, feet can widen. And you'll really reach the hips up and back. Pressing into the fingertips, try to lengthen your arms and widen the shoulders. If you'd like to bend one knee and the other, walk it out and stretch it out a bit. If this is too much for you, you can walk your hands back towards your feet and come to ragdoll. And then walking your hands back towards your feet, coming to ragdoll, knees bent. Belly is connected to the thighs, so you can bend your knees any amount. Grab opposite elbow with opposite hand and let your head hang down. You can shake your head yes and no, and side to side. And if you can keep the connection of your belly to the thighs, you can start to lift the hips up. Again, just maintain that connection of the upper body to the lower body. Release the arms, draw the belly in, round your way up, one vertebrae at a time. Very slowly start to get your bearings. Maybe step your feet a little closer together, shrug the shoulders. And standing in mountain pose, feet parallel, palms facing forward, back of the neck is long. Finding your strength through the legs, soles of the feet, anchored down, quadriceps engaged to lift the kneecaps, lifting the pelvic floor for Mula Bandha. drawing the low ribs down towards the belly button, knitting them in. Chin draws in slightly towards the neck and lengthen the crown of the head upwards. This is your mountain pose. Inhale, both arms reach up high. Lift the gaze slightly as you reach the fingertips as high as you can. Feel the feet really rooting down, so you're reaching in both directions. Soften the knees, let the arms open wide, and we'll dive forward into a half sun salutation. Head hangs down. Inhale, slide the hands up the shins, and then look forward. Reach the chest forward, hips back. Exhale, come on down. You can hug the backs of the legs, bend the knees. And we'll do 2 more of those. Halfway lift up. Inhale. Lengthen the spine forward, hips back. Exhale, soften down, fold. And then 1 more inhale and lift. And exhale to fold. Rise up through a flat back. Inhale, the arms reach up high. And exhale, bring your thumbs to the heart center. Shoulders relax down. Taking a moment. Samastitihi, equal standing pose. Step the left foot forward and hands on the hips. Turn the right heel in slightly. So left foot straight forward. Right toes are pointing to about 2 o'clock. Just slide your heel up or down any amount so that you feel comfortable enough to have your hips shining forward. And then we'll bend into that left knee. And make sure the knee only bends as far as the ankle is on the mat. So don't come any further, that's too deep. Pull it back so the knee is above the ankle. And if this feels good, stay here. Or if you want to slide into a wider stance, you can do that now. Bring the arms up alongside the ears, and the palms are facing each other with the pinkies turned slightly in. So you'll feel how that opens the back of the shoulders up. So this is warrior 1. And rooting into the back heel, you can slide it up or down if you need to, but finding the connection down through your back heel, pressing down into that back heel, you'll start to feel your heart lifting. This is a whole body engagement here. And then we'll bring the arms out to the side and wrap the right arm under the left for eagle arms. If this is too much for you, you can always hold onto your shoulder blades and just give yourself a hug. But if you can take your hands into eagle arm wrap, as you press into that back heel, you can lift through the elbows and press the hands away from the face, getting an even deeper stretch through the shoulders. And then we're going to come back down, let the arms come down by your side and inhale them up overhead. Let the palms touch. Lift the chest. And then bring the hands to the heart. From this point, we're going to come into warrior 3. So maybe toe heel that back foot in slightly. I'm going to step back because I have a wall in front of me. We're going to come to warrior 3. So narrow your feet, bring them a little closer together, hands at the heart, and we'll start to shift the weight onto that left foot. Once the weight's on the left foot, you can either lift the right foot high, turning the toes down to the ground, so closing the hips and lifting the heel, or you can keep a straight spine and stay a little more upright. It's really up to you. Let the arms come by your side, and we're letting ourselves fly here in Warrior Three. Really try to lengthen as if you're standing on that right foot on the ground and engaging all of your power centers in your bandhas the same way you're standing in mountain pose. Slowly step the feet together. Inhale, arms up, reach up as you root down through the feet. Exhale, dive forward, soften the knees. One flat back this time, lift and reach, stretch forward as you inhale. Exhale, fold back down. Bring yourself back up, arms high, and exhale, hands to heart center. So coming to the back of the mat once again, stepping the right foot forward, and again turning the left toes out this time, maybe to 11 or 10 o'clock, right toes pointing straight ahead to 12. And make sure your hips are comfortable, so your feet may need to widen on the mat. Hands on the hips, find your really rooted, comfortable stance. Your hips should be even, not tilted, but both shining straight forward and bending into that right knee. Again, making sure the knee stays above the ankle. Now, once you have your feet in a comfortable position, we'll let the arms rise up alongside the ears and just turning the pinky fingers in slightly to rotate the arms internally so that the shoulders can open behind you. And squeeze the floor with your feet. Squeeze the mat. Engage the muscles of the legs to help lighten and lift the upper torso. Rooting down into that back heel. Feel how that pressure through the back leg helps lift and extend the heart forward. Now we're going to take the left arm under the right, eagle arms, wrapping it in, or giving yourself a hug if your shoulders or arms are uncomfortable in that. And we'll really lift through the elbows and hands, lift the chest. And what's powering this is your back heel. So rooting so strongly into your back heel as if it's propelling you forward and up. And then we'll unwind the arms. Inhale, let them float up and meet overhead, palms touching, and thumbs come down to the heart. So we're going to sneak into Warrior Three from here. So a little bit of a wiggle, an adjustment of your space, and we'll come into Warrior Three, tilting forward any amount. So you can stay with your toes on the ground and lifting the chest, or you can come into the T shape, full Warrior Three, or any angle thereof, and then let the arms float by the side, turning the toes down, stepping onto your left foot, the one that's floating up behind you. You can soften your standing knee. Just imagine as you strongly flex that back foot that you're standing on it. Lift the chest, let the shoulders draw together behind you, and step the feet together. Inhale, arms reach high, and exhale, dive forward, soften the knees. Inhale, lift halfway up, heart reaching forward. Exhale, fold back down. Rise up, arms reach high. Inhale, and exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a moment here, samastitihi, regain the breath, the balance. And we'll come down onto the mat, carefully bringing yourself onto your seat and setting up for boat pose. So we have a little bit of a V shape between the legs and the torso. Hands on the knees, leaning back, pull the belly in, lift the chest, lengthen the back of the neck. And this could be enough of a challenge for you. Stay here and feel the balance and strength that it takes. If you'd like to, lift the feet up and hold on behind the knees. Again, lifting the chest, drawing the belly in. If you'd like to, you can release the hands. And the last challenge might be if you want to lift the feet up. And then slowly coming down. Bring your hands behind you, slide your hips forward, and come all the way down onto your back. Hug the knees in and just circle the knees around. So holding the knees in separate hands and just letting the knees kind of freestyle. Feel the low back massaging itself on the ground. And we'll take a figure four stretch. So left ankle over the right knee. Let the knee fall out to the side as much as possible. And this may be where you stay, or you can lift the right foot from the ground, pressing the right knee towards the chest, and you'll feel the stretch behind the left hip. Reaching your hands in, the left hand between the legs, and the right hand on the outside. Hold on behind that right thigh. And your legs can stay as they are, or you can lift your right foot up slightly. Kind of angle it in. It'll help the stretch. So while you're here, try to lengthen the tailbone down and the neck up. So we're finding as we let the spine kind of surrender into the floor, as well as stretching through the hip, we're lengthening the spine. And slowly release and keep the cross of the knee, the ankle over the knee, and just let your foot and knee fall over to the right. So we're taking a kind of a twist, an alternate twist. Left arm reaches out to the side. You can stay here, or you can lift that lower knee up into the bend of the upper knee. So the right knee slides up into the bend of the left knee, and that'll deepen the twist a little bit. So it can be a very light cross of the legs, or you can tighten the cross of the legs to make it a little more intense. And slowly come back. Draw the knee in. Give them both a little hug and a little rock. And then let the left foot come down. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. And let the right knee fall out to the side. So this may be your challenge. It may be hard to get this knee in line with the ankle. So that may be where you stay, is focusing on that. If you feel comfortable, you can lift the left foot up. Bring your hands behind the left knee. I'm going to rock a little side to side to lengthen my back. Take any adjustments you need. And then lift the left foot up slightly or lower it. You'll see how that gives you a little subtle assist to your stretch. And just let yourself rest wherever that feels good. And then let the left foot come down, and both legs will just fall on over to the side. Reach the right arm over to the right, and you can turn your gaze in that direction. You can stay here or kind of slide the knees a little closer together for a deeper twist. Gently coming back. Bring your knees in. Give them a hug or circle them around. And then we'll bring the feet to the ground. Heels at any height, so they can be further down or closer up, but we're going to just open the knees out wide and press the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. So bringing your arms by your side with the palms up, or you could do this heart, one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, or try both for a while. Let the breath return to a very relaxed state. And taking any time you need now to stretch in any way that feels good for your body. So you can stay here in Supta Baddha Konasana and just relax and be still. If your body's asking for any other gentle movement or stretching, you can do that now. If you've stayed in Baddha Konasana, taking your hands and pressing your knees back together, and then slowly sliding one leg down the mat and then the other, widening your heels wider than or as wide as your mat, widening your arms out, making sure your hands are wider than your feet. If there's any discomfort lying flat, again, feet can slide up, knees knock together. Or you can slide the blanket under the backs of your thighs. Letting yourself rest in Shavasana. Letting your eyes focus up towards your forehead center, resting them behind the eyelids, relaxing the face, the eyes, the forehead. allowing everything to soften through the whole skull, jaw, mouth, and tongue. Scanning the body, the neck and the chest, allowing them to release any tension. The shoulders melt into the ground, the arms lengthen, the belly is soft. Let the breath rise and fall. Your hips let go, allowing the relaxation to travel down your legs, through the knees, the shins, and the ankles. Feeling that softening travel through your feet. Start to deepen the breath. Wiggle the toes, the fingers. Taking a stretch through the body. Gently rolling onto one side, curling up. Slowly, keeping your eyes closed, press your way to a seated position. Bring your hands together at your heart or flat over your heart. Let your chin kind of tilt down towards your heart. Taking a moment of gratitude for yourself in your own practice. And then bring your hands together, just imagining a big circle of us all sitting together in class. And bringing your thumbs to your forehead. And we bow to each other. Namaste. Thank you.